see if I can edit the title and stuff real quick. So I'm on my phone. Let me see if I can find it here. No, it's not showing up yet. Okay, now I found it. I got to edit a couple things on here. All right, I got a couple things edited. I don't think I have anybody yet, so look, I got one more thing I'm gonna put in here. See, is my feed still on? All right, let me see. All right, so far we don't have anybody. So let me know. So far we don't have anybody. I have to turn that. I got the volume down on my computer. So we're getting ready to do some RV in this year, and we got a 36.5 foot. So yeah, I'm just getting my live feed going here. Not sure. It's only my second one ever. Ezekiel, hey. Hope I said that right. Yeah, I'm just learning how to do live feeds. Crush bunch. Hey, how you doing? Did I say that right? Um, yeah, I'm just trying to figure out how to do the live feeds, and tonight we'll have questions and answers about oh, I'm sorry. It's all right. Okay. Crucia bunch. Crucia bunch. Is that better? You guys have been out RVing yet this year? Yeah, I got it on my phone, and then I'm kind of watching on my laptop too, so I can do any comments if I have to type something in. Uh, yeah, it's too cold here yet for us to get the. It was 80 degrees on Saturday, but then on Sunday it went down to snowing, so it was like 30. Just it wasn't freezing, but just above it, and we were getting just a little snowflakes. Yeah, I'm in Minnesota, in southern Minnesota. So yeah, we're thinking about getting the RV. Tomorrow is supposed to be like 65. So we're getting excited. We haven't gotten any water in the tanks or any. Oh, Iowa. All right, cool. I was thinking about, if I can't move to Florida, I'm gonna move to Iowa. I got to get out. I got to get out of Minnesota. I'm telling you, I just have to. So I'd have to pay off my shop. That's behind me, and I got a couple friends that live in Iowa, so they tell me it's so much better. Let me know if the background noise is bothering you, because I do have the volume up on my computer just a little bit. I'm going to turn that. Maybe I'll just turn that down. I don't need to hear myself. I don't quite understand your comment. If you hunt. Oh, hunt. Yeah, no, I don't hunt. Uh, when I was a kid, I had a BB gun and I shot a squirrel, and I just felt terrible. I do like venison. I do, yeah, but I just can't shoot it myself. So, Brian Morgan, hello. So, yeah, I'm trying to get used to it. You got to say hi to everybody, and I got to watch the comments. So, I could watch. I guess they're on my phone too. I could watch them there. How you doing, Brian? So, yeah, I'm learning how to do live feeds, and I just thought I'd have a question and answer about RV and RV. And so last year was our first. We bought a motorhome, and we went to the Indy 500, but it was the first time we've ever gone camping. And Michelle didn't make it tonight. She's at home. She's going to turn on the live feed and then watch. Uh, my other channel does really good, so I'm just kind of practicing. So I have another channel that's doing really good, and I'm monetized. So I'm just practicing to do lives because I haven't done live. So this channel, I don't have very many people, and we thought we'd get the short feed so we get some more people. But yeah, I'm just practicing. Baseball player. I'm not into the baseball. I do the NASCAR, but I love racing. I've been racing since I was 21 years old. I quit racing in 2008, but no, I don't get into baseball. A little bit of football, but yes, Lillian, Jesus loves us all. He sure does. So yeah, I used to race. I started out racing pure stock, went to street stock, and then the A mod, and I raced some USMTS races, and I don't race anymore. But Michelle had seen me and Michelle got together about 2 years ago, and she kind of likes the car. I still have it, and it still runs, and it's got the alcohol motor in it. We just switched it to E85, and we went and took it out in the yard, and we're thinking about getting it really like maybe she could do some races. I don't want to race. It's expensive. So yeah, venison and deer steak, and I like the jerky and the sausage, the summer sausage. That is great. My brother can skin a deer or whatever you call it, but I can't do it. Blood and guts, no. Um, yeah, so I'm just trying to figure out the live feeds and thought I'd do a question and answers. I know a lot about cars. Like if you guys have any trouble with your cars, I could sure answer some questions. Like I got access to Mitchell, and if I don't know what the code is, I could look it up. And we're trying to grow our channel too, so like I'm sure like maybe tomorrow we might do a live feed in the motorhome because it's supposed to be warmer. So it's just on the top of my head what kind it is. It's the same thing as a Fleetwood, but it's not a Fleetwood. And it's got a all right, guy. Thank you, and thanks for watching, and you have a good night too. Kusha bunch. Oh boy. I butchered that one. Sorry, man. I did it again. Yeah, just when you do a live feed or do YouTube videos, you just gotta get used to the camera and crew. Yeah, he said its name sounds like crew. Krusha bunch. Maybe there I got it. Sorry, man. Thanks for watching though. So yeah, I think I just lost almost all of my watchers. See how hard it is? So I'm just gonna, I gotta do something here really quickly. So, what kind of cars do I got? I got rid of all my hot rods, and because I'm older now, but I guess the last one that I got left is my '79 Chevy van, and it runs really good. It's a little bit rusty, and I really want to make an A-Team van out of it. But it's got side windows in it, so not sure if I just paint over them or sticker over them, or but I really want to make the A-Team van. BMW. Oh, come on. I just worked on a Lexus today, and the whole dash was lit up. We scanned the codes, and all I could come up with, it needs a thermostat. So I cleared them off because it's going to be summer soon. So maybe that code won't come back on. The last BMW I worked on, you can't even check the oil level. There's no dipstick. Uh, it's a kid's car, and then he had done some work to it. I had to straighten some of that stuff out. Um, honestly, I like Fords and Chevys. I got a Ford pickup. I got a Jeep too. I got a Chevy Impala. My favorite car that I had when I was younger, actually one of my first cars, was an International Harvester pickup. It was in 1961, and I took the 304 out and I put a 392 with a 727 automatic in it and made it four-wheel drive. And that thing was pretty light, and she could fly. We never got beat. We did get beat the first race because we didn't know how to drive it. But that's back in the day. The second best car I had, I mean, I had Novas and Camaros, but the second best one I had was a Grand Am with the Quad 4, and that thing could fly. So you got a 2008 335. I think that's very similar to the one that one of my customers has. And I keep that thing going for them. I'd have to pull it up on the invoice, and I don't want to look right now. Rebuilt trans, downpipe, tune, big turbo. Basically, the whole car is upgraded. I bet you that's pretty fast. I know Michelle's son has a Infinity, and we pulled the transmission out of that and fixed the valve body and put a rear seal in it. And that thing's pretty fast. He's got something, I can't remember what it's called, but out of the back exhaust if you hit the button on the steering wheel or the horn or something. I can't remember. Michelle says it's an Infinity G. No, it's not a G36. It's a G35. Hey, Michelle, how you doing? Glad you could make it. I had one time like 35 people on here. So Coleman, do you just hot rod around in that thing, or do you take it to the track? Yeah, I'm kind of looking not at my phone where the camera is, but I got it up on my PC, which is right in front of me. So if I'm not looking right at you, then you'll have to excuse me. I can't remember what else we did to that Infinity. Oh, Daisy. So Daisy is the other part of our channel, and it's our dog, and she's listening, and she must be able to hear my voice. A roll race car, really, unless I put the tires on, I will go to the drag strip. A roll race car. What does that mean? Like, oh, you do rolls on the street? Yeah. Oh, back in the day when we did it, I mean, that's what we did. We raced in the street. Most of the time we'd go out in the country, but then okay, 40 or 60 rolls. Well, that thing must be really fast because all the cars I had, like from 40 or 60, I mean, our best thing was off the launch. So yeah, turbo. So you said you had a turbo. So is that a four cylinder in that, or what size engine do you got? Hey Michelle, what is that thing that David does with his car that makes the flames come out of the pipe? Inline six. Whoa. Well, we're talking like Supra there. So yeah, them inline six, they can really go. Yeah, so when I was younger, and that was like 30 some years ago, maybe like 35, we'd get a bunch of cars off the Broadway, and then we'd go out. We'd spend the whole night out in the country just dragging. You can't do that anymore. You'll get called in, and you'll get a big ticket. Yeah, yeah. Well, the parts are a little more expensive too for BMWs, and you need knowledge and experience to work on them. Like I could just do the basics, and I was having a little bit of trouble with that one I was working on. I think I did a water pump at first because it was leaking. It was down in the bottom, and I had to pull. It was a nightmare, but I got it done. Yeah. So you guys that have those cars, you guys got the knowledge, and you guys can figure them out and make them work. And you guys are very patient about it, and you guys stick with it. See, some of the times back in my day, we didn't always stick with it, and we'd get a different car or something like that. Yeah, it's two stepping. That's what he's got. So he hits a button somewhere. I don't know if it's on a steering wheel or on a shifter, and he revs it up, and then calls it a two step, and then it can, and it's got a tune in it where it does this, or it's made to do this, where it can modify one of the built-in switches in the car, and then it can throw flames out of tailpipe, which I think is kind of I don't like it. It's so loud, but I just wonder how what am I trying to say? Like how good for the engine is that to do stuff like that? Tuned on a steering wheel. So he hits some button on a steering wheel and it makes it. I don't know if he's got to rev it up. I think you got to rev it up, and then it does pops and bangs, two stepping. So yeah, we're just thinking it's probably gonna terrible. Okay, Crucia Bunch. Oh, he has 5 different levels of pops and bangs and two stepping. Yeah, that's what I was thinking, Colbin. I don't think that's a very healthy thing to do for your car, especially it's a kid's car and he's always revving it up, and then he'll accelerate really hard and then let off and pop 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 pop, and the flames will come out. His is not turbo; it's the Infiniti G35, and I can't remember what size engine that is, but it's a V6. 530. That's the car. It's a 535i that I work on, and you threw a rod. Well, that sucks. Yeah. So we used to race against this pickup, and oh gosh, I just had the name of this pickup, but it could, every time he would shift a gear or let off the gas, it would throw actual flames out the back of the tail. It's called Nasty. That was the name of the pickup we used to race. I think it had a 327, and It was naturally aspirated carburetor. I'm in Minnesota, Coleman, and southern Minnesota. And she's a little cold out there right now. I can look at the temperature. It's 45 degrees, so not too cold, but tomorrow's supposed to get up to 60, 65. So, Georgia, okay. All right, you're a little bit south of me. 72, oh yeah, right now. So yeah, it's 45 here. So it was 80 degrees on last Saturday, and then Sunday morning, or just right at noon, it started snowing. So that's a big temperature drop we had, and we had gotten the RV ready to go and everything, and then yep, we're gonna wait a little bit. So maybe it's gonna start warming up in a week or so here, but I think we're done with the snow. Hopefully, I mean we have had 12 inches of snow in May before, so hopefully that don't happen. But yeah, I'm thinking about moving south. We're gonna go check out Florida in the RV this year, so see what we can find down there. See if I can handle the humidity and the temperature. But yeah, we're thinking about maybe moving to Florida. And if we can't go to Florida, Iowa sounds good to me. So, yep. So Michelle says I just got to be more, just like more casual, not so nervous about doing the lives. And the reason I'm doing it on my phone is like I want to be able to walk around and show people stuff. I'm not going to do that tonight, but so for my other channel, I'll walk around, and we're gonna have like question and answers on there too. And if I need to show somebody like a tool, or if I have a car in the shop, I can just walk around and do it. So that's the reason I kind of got two things going on here. I got the phone here, which is videoing me, and it's on like a little selfie stick tripod. And then I'm kind of watching on my computer, and then I can pull up. The only thing I think I can't do is like put pictures on the screen since I'm on my phone. But maybe someday, maybe, I just don't know. I just think the portable way with my phone, that way I can walk around the shop and show people stuff if I need to. But yeah, I'm probably going to only go about 30 minutes, and we're 22 minutes into it. I'm not sure what you're getting at there, Coleman. No, this is only the second one I've ever done. I got it. Yeah, Michelle, I was talking to that guy. He's still on here. He said he had to go, but then he came back. Yeah, I heard he said something. If you like pina coladas, you'll get a lot in the rain. Pina coladas, you'll get a lot in the rain. I don't know it. Oh, thanks, Coleman. Yeah. So if you subscribe to my channel, I'll go back and look and subscribe back to you. So that's one thing I didn't like about YouTube at first, is like you could subscribe to people and then they would not subscribe back. I mean, it's one for one. I think subscribe. That's how it should be. And I think it was like 20 years ago when I first started this channel, I was already monetized, but then they took it away and came out with the new rules that you got to have so many hours and so many followers or subscribers. So they actually took it away from me, because I used to make like $20 a month on here. I like G35s, but I've seen so many of them blow up from those flame tunes. Yeah, I think it's really hard on the engine, to be honest with you. And then I don't know, but he's always complaining about a crack or an exhaust leak. And from back in the day when I raced, if you were throwing flames or popping, you had an exhaust leak. That's what was causing the exhaust, or the pop was an exhaust leak. So we learned how to tune our race cars really good. Like if it's not backfiring when you let off the gas, then you got a good exhaust. But yeah, I think I've been working on cars for like 36 years. Spark plugs to make flame. Oh yeah, yeah. So back in the day, they used to pump propane in the front of the exhaust up in the manifold area. I mean, these are on older cars, classics now. And then they would put a spark plug and a coil, some kind of, I never did it, but then when they let off the gas, they would hit that spark plug in the back with the coil, and it would just throw like 4 feet flames out of each side of the pipes. It was really cool, but I just never did it. That's just extra weight. You got propane and all that extra stuff to do it. I mean, when we were racing on the street, we tried to be really serious about it all. Like it was me and a buddy, and when we went out to line up, only the driver was allowed in the car. The windows had to be up. I remember one time I raced a guy, and I put electrical tape and duct tape over all the seams of the front of the car, and I took off the wiper blades, the antenna. I put like extra 10 pounds of air in my tires. I mean, we couldn't spend very much, but he used to be able to beat me, and then I did all that. I came out and I beat him. So he's like, what the hell? He followed me right to my house. And he's like, what did you do to the car? And I just couldn't hold it back. I just started laughing and laughing. And finally he seen like the small seams on the top by the hood. I used electrical tape. And he's like, looking at that. And he's like, that's really weird. And then he noticed, you ain't got no windshield wipers. Yeah, that was back in the early 90s. So I got my driver's license in, I think, 1986. And then, I was driving before that. Well, that's cool. So, yeah, things are a lot different now. Like, I got younger brothers, and they weren't able to get away with hardly anything like I did. But I'm glad I wasn't too much of a hellion and got in trouble too much. I mean, my driving record, we could go down to the courthouse and it was 2 pages, but it was mostly like speeding tickets, minor stuff. Yeah, my insurance company did send me a letter saying if I got one more ticket, I was going to be canceled. Yeah, now it's some pretty serious stuff if you get caught drag racing on the street or in the town. Like we used to do that all the time. So now back then it was a speeding ticket or unnecessary display of speed and stuff like that. But now it's like that's a major violation. I don't know what the penalties are if you get caught racing on the street, but they're probably going to impound your car and haul you to jail for the night. Yeah, well that's not too bad. 5K in fines in 2 months. But that's a lot because we used to race on the street all the time and it would just be a speeding ticket. Took his car, yeah, that sucks. Yeah. Yeah, you do not want to get caught because what am I trying to think of? I've heard of some of the people around here that got drag racing and then they didn't stop for a red light and then they T-boned somebody. It wasn't me or my group, but I heard about it on the news, and so that's why it's just too dangerous. I mean, they should have. This is what we were always thinking when we were younger. Like, if they just had a place, the abandoned road where they could block it off. But then the problem is if somebody gets hurt, that's the problem. So that's why you got to have it at a facility. Yeah. Yeah, that's for sure. So that's why you got to have it at a facility, and then you got to have the insurance, and then you got to have an ambulance on standby. That's why, because it's just so dangerous. Things can happen. I mean, we're all out there trying to just have a good time. but things do happen. So you gotta have it at a facility, and you gotta have an ambulance on standby, and you gotta have the insurance. Yeah, yeah. So we got a track in Iowa that I go to with a buddy of mine once in a while, and he's got a I can't remember it's a Suzuki, no, not a Suzuki, it's an even faster one. He had a Hayabusa, maybe it is a Suzuki that he still has, but it's a really fast one. Yeah, Busa. He has one of those, and it really goes. And he's actually wiped it out once at the track. Your uncle has a '68 Roadrunner. We used to go to the car shows and then drag race all the way home. Yeah, see, that's what we are talking about. It was fun back then, and it was you could get away with it. But now if you get pulled over for racing, you're in trouble. Roll racing at the track, or are you talking on the street? Oh, organized. So yeah. So do they section? Is it at a track, or do they section off some road somewhere so you guys can do it? But it's legal. They got the street blocked off and stuff like that. Is that what you're talking about? About 3 miles long. Yeah, I know. The last time I was out at the track, I wasn't racing. I was just no, it wasn't the track. It was on the street, out at one of the quarter miles. Okay, so that's good. So it's one of the quarter miles, and it was illegal street racing. And I was doing like the starter where you stand in the middle of the two cars, and these are dead stop, not roll racing. But anyways, I did the start for the cars, and they went. But then a buddy of mine had a motorcycle. I can't remember what kind, but it was fast. So he took off like after they went a couple seconds, and then yeah, he passed them, and then he came back. Well, we're all standing on the road, and I was still standing kind of in the middle because I was always looking down just to see who could win. But anyways, he turned around and came back, and I seen he was coming back. But I started walking off the side of the road. Well, then he started because he's seen me and he's coming at me 140 miles an hour. And I'm telling you, I jumped and the motorcycle brushed me on when I jumped. So ever since then, I just don't want. It's so dangerous. I mean, he wasn't trying to hit me, but he couldn't. It's on a motorcycle going 140 miles an hour, which was stupid. Yeah, he shouldn't have been doing that. But yeah, we used to have so much fun. But that was the most scariest time I've ever had at the track, and it was so fun, like starting the two cars. But after that motorcycle thing with my buddy, I'm like, he's like, "Why are you standing on the road?" And I'm like, "Why are you coming so fast at me? We're all standing here on the side of the road." But yeah, that was pretty scary. That was a close encounter for sure. Yeah, yeah. Somebody needs to invent some time travel. We need to go back. This is too crazy. One thing's for sure, it's pretty expensive. So I'm kind of winding down. The cops. So I was at a car meet and I was riding with my buddy, and the cops came and everyone pulled out and smacked us. up terrible night. Yeah. Yeah, the cops probably get a little annoyed and pissed off sometimes, especially when they just don't want you doing that. I think it's called contempt of cop when they adrenaline gets flowing and then they don't know exactly what they're doing and they can get out of control. So I've had so many encounters with police and cops when I was younger. Now I've learned just to stay out of trouble, and then I don't have to deal with it. So I no longer have encounters with police out on the road. If I have encounters with police now, it's at a casual uh, place where I see them. So yeah, I think I'm gonna shut her down for tonight because yeah, I'm just learning how to do these live feeds, and I'll thank you, Coleman. We had a pretty good conversation. Thanks for staying on, and I'll whoever subscribes, I'll subscribe back. So that's only fair. I mean, even if you don't have a channel, you still can get subscribers, and then someday, if you ever decide to have a channel, you'll be ahead of the ball game. So, yeah, thanks, man. You have a good night too, and it was nice talking to you. BMW, man, be careful with that thing and don't blow it up. All right, guys. So I'm gonna shut her off for tonight. So thanks for watching, and I hope everybody has a great night.